Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Now, me and my co-host, two of them, we basically here because of one thing. Um, this is a college sport. So the reason why we made this video is because due to college. So yeah, we're gonna make this whole so-called podcast for about 15 minutes. So yeah, thanks to you who willingly to spend your 15 minute the time of your life just want to listen to us now because this one is a video, so which means it is completely optional when you can watch it, or simply you can just listen our podcast. But anyways, though, I just want to ask one thing: why this thing is here?
I don't know.
Like,
no idea.
I mean, we're supposed to be talking about whole gaming stuff, and you got these fake, I don't know, plants. So get out of this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's much better. Anyways, though, so this is gonna be our 15 minutes of our life because that's the estimate. That's the minimal time. No.
Hey, first thing first, we have to introduce ourselves.
Okay,
right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sure. So let's begin with me. I am Evan Pratama, the co-host, the only male of the show. How about you, like young lady?
Yes. So my name is Goretti, Keianna, Krisni, and you guys can call me Margot.
My name is Andjani, Noura, Utomo, and I'm one of the co-hosts for this podcast.
Oh, before we getting into the show, we all know that this is the DLC, the download conversation. Now, obviously, the DLC stands for downloadable content, but I actually took the reference from the GTA radio. It's called the lowdown radio. Now, I decided to flip it and thinking, yeah, download, maybe, doesn't make any sense, but at least it's a cool thing, the DLC, download conversation, because we're going down into the conversation. Anyways, what kind of topic to talk about?
Okay. So our first topic is what kind of genre game you guys play or you guys like?
Okay. I'll start with me first.
Okay.
So my favorite genre game has to be right now is a fast-paced action shooting game.
Oh,
It's mainly because I really love playing Splatoon on my Nintendo Switch. It's like a fast-paced action game with like shooting ink, and then you have this task to just kill other people and paint your base. It's really fun. But how about you guys?
May I ask? Is that an online game?
Yes, it's an online game. So it's a 4-player team, and it's mainly online, but there are also story mode as well.
Oh, so it can play multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Okay, so Evan, do you have?
Mine, obviously, as you can clearly see from this one, you got Gran Turismo 7, which means my favorite genre of all time, is in fact a racing game. Because why? Because driving it's something the best experience that man could ever did. Like when let's just say you're having a bad day, okay? You want to confess with someone, but then she said no, and then you kind of distress a little bit. I think the best kind of meditation, in my opinion, is driving. Now, because the car nowadays, through the inflation, get things a bit more expensive, especially with this lightweight sports car. Okay, I just want a simple lightweight sports car, but in fact, people. I'm not the only one who love that thing, so they kind of rise up the prices and make things kind of difficult to get one of those. So the best way that I can experience is through a video game. So that's why my genre is a racing games. But anyways, when it comes to the genre, I think the best genre, the most popular genre, none other than a horror game. A horror genre.
Yeah.
Like you always seen a good horror game sometimes. Well, a lot of them are bad horror games because they kind of jump into the bandwagon, so in order to can get the cash money. Because obviously, when it comes to gaming industry, it's everything about money.
Those jump scares are raw.
No. I would say when it comes to bad horror games, they kind of tends to, always count on the jump scares. Okay, they don't care about the stories. They always kind of the most scariest jump scare with the most lowest budget possible. I mean that's the word So
Oh, speaking of, cash grab, let's talk about the cash grab that is Nintendo
let's talk
right
about the elephant of the
now.
room. Now, the reason why we make this podcast is because one thing, which is a Nintendo 2. So if I kind of summarize the Nintendo 2, it's pretty much like Krusty Krab and Krusty Krab 2.
Krusty Krab. So it's SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing but sequel, which
Oh,
is basically the
yeah,
same. That's the joke.
Okay.
So I don't know. You can summarize like what's kind of can describe what kind of Nintendo 2 is.
So the Nintendo Switch 2, on first glance, there's no differences whatsoever. It's the same console, same things are happening, but they only tweak like the Joy-Cons and maybe a bigger battery and also a bigger screen, but that's literally it. But you know what changed? The price of the console.
Oh, yes, the price.
Because of the price? Yes, the price of the console.
It certainly is. That's like the most American thing because you know what? You know Tesla, electric cars. Okay, so when it comes to like a car company, they always have like the base model, and you got like the perfect model, like the most expensive one. Okay, now the base model for Tesla, okay, it's basically the same than the perfect model of the Tesla. The one thing set apart is basically the screen has more pixel. So the base model has less pixel. That's kind of how I summarize that thing. It just kind of weird when you see like, oh yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 bigger means better, and then they kind of raise up the prices, and people can enjoy it. And you know what? One thing is really funny about the Nintendo 2 Switch, people fall for it. Like people pre-order that things. Like I just don't know why.
It's because they're a really big fan of Nintendo. Most of them who pre-order the Switch too are just a big fan of Nintendo as the company. But can we just talk about how it's also ridiculous that they raised the game $10 more from $60 to $70?
$70 for one game.
One game.
How about you when it comes to his phenomenon of the one company rise up the prices and people somehow fall for it?
I think recently I just read, guys, GTA 6?
Yeah.
And I saw on the social media, on the GTA 6, they got more HD on
the graphic.
the
you
graphics,
they
more
improve a lot.
HD, yes.
Which I would say that there is like a bit reasonable why GTA 6 will be quite expensive because at least they improve a lot. I mean we can see the difference. Like let's just say GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, even though they're different games, they're not the same, but they are from the same company, which is Rockstar. Okay, and we can see from 2013 to 2018, which is like the day that Red Dead Redemption 2. You can see the difference of that. Okay, you can see that the environment, like how Rockstar managed to make that games look good. How Rockstar managed to make a Wild West, an actual Wild West. Like it's 5 years gap, and then the improvement is quite a lot. So we expect more from GTA 6.
You can see the graphic change.
It is. And you know how people anticipate when it comes to GTA 6? The jokes were like, I'm not gonna die till the GTA 6
Oh
release.
yeah, all the memes.
Yeah, I admit it. Okay, it is pretty good reason why you're still alive in this world. Okay, at least do better things. Okay, that's all I can say. Okay, so going back to the Nintendo Switch 2, because this is going to be our main topic throughout the entire time. Other than it's just a filler, okay? That thing that just throwing up, it's just completely filler and the jokes, okay? Now, when it comes to bad things, and somehow that bad things happens and it works somehow, like people fall for it. The main thing I'm kind of concerned is the people that gonna do the same thing, like other company gonna do the same tactic because they think it's gonna be work. So why don't I be clean if the competitor do the dirty things?
True. So basically, Nintendo has paved the way of making more expensive consoles and games. So other companies are also going to follow this trail that they have made.
Exactly. Like the main problem is that we don't need to wait for about like 1 year or maybe 1 month because the pre-order, okay, the store that kind of sell the Nintendo exclusively, that kind of jacked up the prices. I would say, like in the UK, I would say the original the price of original Nintendo Switch 2 2. It was about $700. Okay,
Yes.
it is quite expensive. You know, the UK one, I found that some, I would say, person. Okay, I'm not gonna say any bad words because this is very formal conversation, a podcast. But yeah, there's someone in the UK decided to sell it within $1,000.
$1,000?
$1,000 in the UK. Obviously, it's a
Only
counter.
like $30,000, right?
Yeah, $300. And I mentioned that in the United States, which is way more bigger than the United Kingdom, they kind of jacked up the prices even more, up to $2,000 for your one console. They jacked up into $2,000, thinking that this is gonna might be worth it. If I was me, who see these prices, I better buy a brand new Toyota Corolla because it's way more useful. At least it can get me anywhere else.
That's true.
I mean, it's just bizarre that the inflation is just quite big, and I don't know, like if people thinking that this is a good idea and kind of jump in the bandwagon this bad trend, and here we are now.
It's quite ridiculous.
Speaking of the Nintendo too, I would say that they're also pushing something that I really don't like, which is they kind of slowly get rid of the physical disc. They're leaning into the digital one, like a subscription. I mean, what do you think about that thing? I mean, if that was as an optional thing, you can choose like to be physical or maybe digital. That's on you. But how about you?
I say for me, I don't like how they're getting rid of the physical. For me, I really love buying the games physically because I could have the cover and like the posters that's also inside it, so I could show off like, hey, I got this game, and I can display it on my shelf or something.
You can collect that things. It's the same.
And put it on your room.
Yeah. And for digital, what am I going to do? You can't display that thing, and it's really like, it's frustrating that.
And then the most bizarre thing, the only thing you can collect it is through screenshot.
I know.
Oh yeah, I get it.
And if you lost your account, your game will also gone.
Yeah, your save file.
And that's digital. We're not talking about the subscription, which is you technically not own it, but you kind of like rent it.
Yeah.
You're not own the game. You rent the game. So when the time was over, you no longer play the game. That's kind of how scummy tactic that modern gaming was. I mean, can you imagine like you have your spend your time on like your favorite game, okay? You collected a lot, okay? You know a lot about this game, and then someday, you forgot to pay it for the subscription, and then everything you have, it's just completely gone out of nowhere.
I'd cry.
Just imagine, okay? The online DRM, like I just don't like that the modern gaming company, or I would say a console nowadays, okay? They're kind of pushing into that things like, you not technically own the game, you have to get used to it. No, we don't, okay? Because the thing is, we bought the game, okay? We bought the right in order to play this things, okay? And you just simply took that away, and it's just completely bizarre. I mean, take an example of my favorite racing game, The Crew by Ubisoft. Okay, now basically The Crew is basically like any other racing game in general. Okay, but the main gimmick of The Crew is basically the entire map is a one United States map, so you can explore New York City, or maybe you can go from New York City through San Francisco. You can go coast to coast, or maybe you went to San Francisco. Yes, you can do that in that game. Okay, and now it's moving on into The Crew 2 and The Crew More Fast. Okay, so they kind of left The Crew 1 alone. Okay, now it's still online only racing game till this day, until they decide to shut down the server. Okay. Now, if I was a company, okay, the thing is, when making a game, okay, any game, not only racing games, okay, it needs an effort. Okay, it needs some dedication. It needs some an expert in order to make that game looks fascinating. Okay. And when it's over and you just took that away, you just took it down without any kind of precaution, any kind of like, I don't know, say goodbye. I mean, that was the worst say goodbye when it comes to racing game. Like it's just completely gone. You can't be able to play the game because the server is went down. And what Ubisoft did, they don't patch it or make it like an online patch, or people will be enjoy that game anymore. So it's kind of bizarre.
It's such a waste as well.
Yeah.
It is such a waste, and because of that things, there's a petition like Stop Killing Game, and like amazingly, like a lot of gamers, like they really went into the petition and make sure that there's no more game that will be killed by a big company.
Hey, no.
That is quite bizarre.
True.
Anyways, that's the topic. You got another. I do believe that we have another topics.
Okay, so I have one question. Talking about racing games, have you ever tried the
Steering?
driving? Yeah, the steering.
Oh, exactly.
console.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to steering wheels, people thinking that steering wheels, it's another way to steer the car in your games, in your racing games. But however, somehow in the racing game, like an online racing community, they kind of not a bit crazy. They're being kind of evolve, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and now you got the e-sport category, like an e-sport racing game.
Yeah.
Like you can enjoy 24 hours, which just takes so long, but you can enjoy it while you're sitting in your room. I mean that's a really good experience. Okay, I mean you got a lot of like a simulation racing game that focusing on the realistic. You got a lot. You got iRacing. You got a R Factor, you got maybe a Assetto Corsa if you want something cheap or maybe free and things. You can have it all.
I heard it was also immersive. Yeah, I heard it was super immersive as well when you're using that.
It is very. It's called a force feedback. So it's a bit of an out of context. So what is force feedback is basically the G-forces when you're in a high speed. Obviously, when you're driving a car at the 100 miles per hour, you can feel like the thing shaking, like the steer shaking.
Vibration.
The vibration, exactly, and it's caused from you spinning. So it's kind of a bit of like a sport, I would say, because it is technically a sport. Because you have to hold your hand tightly in a vehicles that run 100 miles per hour, maybe more.
So you will experience that like you're riding the real sports car.
Yeah, but virtually.
In the virtual.
Virtually, I drove a sports cars, and even though it's basically you went to the gym, but with a virtual things, it is a bit of fun. It is fun actually. So when people watching like a 24 hours, maybe endurance racing in general, they kind of tend to like 6 hours of racing, 12 hours of racing, even 24 hours of racing. Yet people still enjoy that thing, and kind of that's the essence of that. If you don't get it, just because you don't get it, okay?
So,
anything else?
Okay. To the next topic. So, what are your favorite games?
I'm not backing down. It is the Gran Turismo series.
I always saw you play Gran Turismo on this car.
Obviously. You see me playing Gran Turismo. I know everything about Gran Turismo.
Especially in the library upstairs.
I mean, I ever saw him play Need for Speed, the Most Wanted one. Yeah.
Oh.
I also played that game.
That's off the record. We shouldn't be talking about that. But anyway, that's just a bit of history of me why I love the racing game. And my favorite game will be a Gran Turismo. I don't care what people say that, this is so arcadey, it's not even a simulator. I don't care. I love this game. This game has a lot more lore. This game has a lot of history than you. That's all I can say then.
Okay, Jenny, do you have favorite?
I have my favorite games. Of course, I already mentioned it earlier, the Splatoon 1. But also, if I want another action game, I think you'll know this. It's Bayonetta. I love that game because not only that's also action, but I also love the queen.
Yeah, the Bayonetta,
The
herself.
Yes, the feminine energy. But also, if I'm tired of the action game, I also love a calm, relaxing game like Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing,
I
yeah.
love Animal Crossing. Building my island, decorating it, and talking to cute villagers. It's the perfect afternoon.
This is definitely out of my knowledge, so I just completely went silent because I have no idea. I know Animal Crossing. Okay, it's basically I don't know how to be nice to animals. At least I know what Animal Crossing is. Okay, at least I know. Okay, at least I know some of them. Okay, the only thing is just being quiet and enjoy. Oh yeah, I do understand.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
What about you, Margot?
My favorite game. I would say Need for Speed Most Wanted. Yeah, I used to do it,
Which is the reason why you're mentioning about Need for Speed Most Wanted. The time when I
that's
played
also
library.
one of my
That's
favorite. Yes.
Why do you like it?
Oh, the reason why I like it. The cars is so. Chef kisses. Oh my god, I love the cars in there, and you can play. And you can explore through the
because most of the Need for Speed game are like an open world.
open world, and you can explore and find a new cars in there, and also there's the racing games, and
There's a lot of racing games.
Yeah, will get by cops.
So can I just summarize what you say? So the main course of the Need for Speed, not only the car and the racing, which is the street racing, but also the immersive when you get chased by a cops. I think that's how I kind of summarize the reason why you really love Need for Speed. But speaking of Need for Speed, I got some bad news. Okay. Do you know the recent Need for Speed game, the Need for Speed Unbound? Can I just say that? That game is dead now. Okay, that's probably gonna be the last Need for Speed game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, another one. I got another one. So another favorite games is you guys know Call of Duty?
Oh yeah, of course. That's
You know what?
classic.
Even though I'm not really a fan of like action shooting, but I've played it once.
What series? What?
I think the Modern Warfare. Warfare in the PS3.
At War?
I do forget.
Warfare.
But from I can tell that it started off at the New York fight. It's the start of New York. It's a PS3 games.
Yeah. FPS games. Yes. I love it so much. Okay.
Do you think from this whole conversation do we get something good that like something that us like viewers can learn? What do you think? You got like a good anyways, don't do this, okay? You listen to our conversation and the came to the conclusion, don't do this and do that. You get any things?
Don't make games too expensive.
Yeah.
So it's accessible for all people. What about you, Evan?
You know what? Maybe everything that I said, the whole things what we can get. Maybe we can put it on the later on account on the end. But what about you?
Oh, how about me? So the positive side, we can conclude that every game we also have a strategy to get to win this game.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We make the strategy of this game.
Yeah.
How to win? How to
Learn.
Yeah, how to learn. How to learn how to win this game.
Yeah. And we always have a lot of what we can learn, even from a video game. Even your parents thinking, what's the positive thing of video game? A lot.
A lot.
True.
From a game that has a story, at least you can get the moral story. Don't be like this, don't be like that, based on the stories. Okay. Anyways, this might be the last segment. Okay. Now you can see that you got the PlayStation 4 controller, you get the PlayStation game. You have a Nintendo Switch 2, and you got what appears to be PC.
Yeah.
We have our own bias. Okay. You
Yeah.
really bias into Nintendo, and you can tell me why you really like that.
I think the reason why I love Nintendo, even though they're in a little hot water
We can understand that. We can understand that the Nintendo Switch go for a slightly different market.
Yeah,
okay, we
yeah.
can say that.
But the reason why I love the console Nintendo Switch is because it dates back to when I was younger. My very first console was Nintendo DS that I got from my mom, and I remember going home from school and I play on that thing for hours on end. And when I found out that Nintendo had a new console, which is Nintendo Switch, I was ecstatic. I didn't get the other, consoles like the Wii, but I started my love again from Nintendo DS to Nintendo Switch. What about you?
Now, I do believe that the reason why there's a lot, or maybe PC, because you're a PC person.
Yes.
Well, I can't back it because since the PC were like we have our own bias, but the PC is more like the modified version we can comprehend. Now, let me make it short. Okay, the reason I love PlayStation is because it's a go-to, the OG of a console, and pretty much that's it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on that bombshell, it's time to an end. I think the moral of the story is don't be greedy, okay? And be wise to yourself, okay? Make sure you can manage your money so you can waste your money into something that may be wasteful, I would say, okay? Now, don't be greedy. I would say this is completely optional, but I think you should don't be greedy, because if you're being greedy, a lot of people being greedy towards you, okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for today's, okay? It's time to an end. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Because this one is a podcast and, you can listen or maybe you can watch it, which is completely optional. So, if you like what you saw, please smash like, subscribe button, and
see you in the next episode.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching us.